welcome to Sarajevo. We're in the middle of the city for a F1 Showrun. You always see the cars driving, but what it takes to keep them driving, you will be mainly following our tech crew and see what they are doing to prepare the cars. There are different aspects. The first one is the strategical aspect, to get everything aligned in the time frame and everything. The second one is obviously the technical aspects. So underneath that we have obviously the tire changes, the fuel, and also the bolt checking to make sure after each and every run all the parts are still on. And the last point is actually to take care of the drivers as well, get their feedback. This is basically what you will be seeing now, so I hand over to the tech crew. Good morning. We just loaded one of our cars on this flatbed and we will drive a couple meters in, this direction actually. Today we will have some taxi runs on top of a parking garage, which is quite cool. However, we can't have the pit setup that we just built here. So that's why we had to load everything into this transporter and in the two rental cars. And now we drive over there and see how the location looks like and how it's going to work. But it's definitely going to be exciting. I'm super happy, I'm super stoked that we already start one day ahead of the actual show run. We are at the location where we will do the taxi runs today. Look up there. Very nice building, like a twisted tower. And here's a parking deck, and this is the playground for today. It's quite tight space, but we've done that in the past already. And I'm sure we find a cool layout here that the taxi guests also will have a lot of fun.
We are at the first taxi location. Actually, this is the paddock, one level below where the taxi rides are. We choose this location because we will be in the shade all day, so it will be quite pleasant for us. We prepped a lot of stuff here. As you can see, these are all the tires. We have 6 sets of tires for every car, so you do the math and figure out how many taxi rides we have today. I think this is one of the events with the most taxi rides we ever did. As you see, we split part of the setup because one toolbox is there, one tire jack is there, the other setup is there. So Tony and myself will be the tech crew today. Every one of us will service one car and then we do the fueling together. So it made sense to split it up. It will be quite humid today and quite hot. So the drivers are not going to have a good time, but it's fairly cold in here. So Tony and myself will hopefully have a good time. Let's cross fingers, everything goes well. And we just have to add fuel and change tires today.
First taxi session done. Everything went alright. Layout is really tight there, so we had to adjust something after our practice runs. But Adam did an amazing job. The guys are prepping the tires. The surface is quite abrasive, so I think we need to shorten down our layout a little bit. We had a slight issue. It seems like we have not a perfect connection. One sensor sometimes gave trouble, but luckily now it stayed away. But we will have to check in the evening to find the position and change it. Just finished the morning stint, 18 taxi guests in total, which is quite a lot. And in the last lap we had 2 small things. One, there was a rain coverage coming up. Luckily Tony spotted it. That's why it's always important to have eyes also from the outside. It could have been disastrous if we would came back and run over that hole. So he was immediately on the radio, told us to shut it down, and we stopped. And then he could actually let us know, hey, the drain coverage came off. So yeah, this was before the last lap, and so we said, okay, let's repeat it, that our guests have the full experience. And so we did the next lap, and actually in the last turn, Adam lost power. And he was really quick on feeling what happened, so he said he lost boost. The guys are just checking and they found a loose boost pipe, so a boost pipe came off, and this is a quick fix, luckily. So we will get it fixed, have some lunch, have some rest, get cold again, and then we do it all over again in the afternoon.
We're just checking to make sure everything is alright, because we had a drainage cover that came loose. And just to be sure that nothing happened to the suspension, we are just checking for like loose parts.
Have you already fixed it?
Oh yeah, And we took the long way by removing the belly pan down there, but it was easier because the engine is still fairly hot, and I don't like to get burned that much. Just the boost pipe popped off. Didn't have that happen too often, but yeah. Don't really know what the issue is, but it's sitting properly now, should be fixed. Easy stuff, innit?
Pre-activation day is now history. Next thing is coming up, the showrun in the middle of Sarajevo tomorrow. And that's why the guys are already checking through the cars, bolt checking it, that everything is fixed and ready for tomorrow. Because, yes, we're only going out 3 times, but there are way more eyeballs on us. It's way more complicated with the layout and so on and so on. So yeah, still, I'm super excited because this is what I'm living for basically. And yeah, I can't wait to take the opportunity to show our sport of drifting to probably quite a lot of new audience there. So I would say, let's jump right in.
As you can see, we are already hooked up with radio. Formula 1 guys in the background also making the last preparations. We set up everything. We are ready to go.
We are now 7 minutes before the actual show starts, but our drivers will get out in the Red Bull Minis and wave to the crowd, and right after that we are on. So we have the basic setup for the paddock already done. 1 car there, 1 car there. The strategy is the cars will come in there, turn around on that space there, and then go straight in so we can service them.
Well, service starts with tires. So cars come in, 1 person checks them up, 2 people on each side of the car, pulling the tires off the car, putting new ones in, car goes down, gets torqued. After the tires, it's time for fuel. In the time the show goes on, we prepare the next service, which is basically done already. All we have to do is bring the old tires out.
We do tires first because when the cars come out from the show, they're fairly hot, and it makes sense to switch off the cars to get fuel in. So we want to give the cars the longest possible running time before we need to shut them off, to get the oil temperatures in check and not damage any components of the engine.
The cars are warmed up. You can see in the background, David Coulthard is looking cool as hell, so he's ready as well.
Yes.
Which only means one thing, show is about to start.
Yeah, we have around 4 minutes until the show starts. It's 1:56 now, and then we have, I think, 15 more minutes until we actually need to get out. So we keep you in the loop, but we will have some stuff to do, so we're out for now. See you in a bit. Car is getting a bit hot, so we spray water on it to cool it down even further. And when the radiators are wet when he starts, the temperatures will stay lower, because with the water on it, you can get more heat away from the radiators. We didn't have time to check the data what the issue is actually, so we just cooled it down as much as possible. Just touch that. What? And that was melting, like from the fluid. So that got really hot. I reckon you'll be alright. Be a bit cautious on the clutch shot.
I will.
Yeah, I think.
And I didn't really put a lot of pressure.
I know. Yeah. There was something already a bit hot. Then you pulled the e-brake and clutched in, and it was stuck somewhere in between and slipped the clutch a bit. That's why it felt like a half shaft broke. And I think then we cooked it even more, and then it was just a runaway. There was nothing you could do about that.
What can you say? Shit happened.
Yeah, for sure. Fuck yes.
The show run in Sarajevo is over. It was an amazing 2 days, and today it was quite challenging, wasn't it?
Yes, we had a lot to do actually. We had to fight with the heat. The heat was pretty hard. We had to cool down the cars more than usual. We had some fans in the front. We had water sprayed on the intercooler, all that stuff. Adam's car got a little bit hotter than yours. He actually had some issues as well, which proved the challenge, and we had to adapt the plan we did earlier. We planned to do tires, fuel, then issues, but the issue was like something that we had to address immediately. So we decided to dedicate one person to the issue. He goes to it right away, because we had, first of all, had to find out what is the issue, had to find a solution, and then like actually do it to the car.
Yeah.
It was in the end we could do a show, but it resulted in a change of plans. Tony and I did the service on the first car. Once we were done, then we headed over to Kevin, helped him out, did the service while he was addressing the issue, and we also had to involve the cameraman. So
Ollie was also involved.
Yes, Ollie had some action.
He was bleeding the clutch as well. I saw it one time. So yeah, quite some challenges, and in drifting it's basically not the question if it will hold, it's just a question how long. And this time it was probably the clutch release bearing, just the bearing. It got hot and started to boil the fluid, building air bubbles. So when Adam was pressing the clutch, it was not fully disengaging, and this was the issue basically. So this was like 2 eventful days, and I mean the energy of the fans, I think you also heard it like here in the pits, like how much they celebrated. Now the last thing is I gotta finally change, and then we pack up to get ready to rest a little bit, to have nice dinner, and then tomorrow morning maybe experience a little bit of Sarajevo.
Well, for you, maybe. I will head out, go back to Germany, bring the cars back so we can get back to work as soon as possible.
So Stefan, thanks. Was a pleasure. Yes. Thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed, do it now. If you like the video, hit the like button, and I would say see you next time.
Bye bye.